Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Hotel Charlie. This is episode 8. Welcome to all my dudes, my dudettes, my gigolos, my gigolettes. This is Father John Misty's John Tillman in the Accidental Dose. John Tillman, great guy. Father John Misty has some good songs. He did that one song with Lana Del Rey. He's a nice, cool, chill guy, good for background music and campfires. So if there's one thing you get out of the show, it should at least be, hey, Harrison, what's a good song for me to play for my friends so they know that I'm with it? I'm down with new music. And I go, well, what do you want? You want rap, country, hip-hop, jazz, blues? You go, no. I just want some good background music. I said, well, then you better listen to Father John Misty. You're in no shape. Welcome back, everybody. He's a good guy. Anyway, on with the episode. What do we have here today? I've been doing a lot of work with ChatGPT. I think it honestly is one of the best inventions ever. As a writer or a wannabe writer, I know I shouldn't say that, but it really does solve a lot of problems, and it gets rid of any uncomfortable situations and conversations you don't want to have with real people. So I went on to ChatGPT the other day because I think I have mental disorders. Whoa, what is this? Oh, I was supposed to be the echo. Let me try this again. I think I have mental disorders. Many of them. Usually when I try to fall asleep, I put on just a random YouTube video. Like sometimes in my suggested page, it's like, here's a good sleeping video. I'm going to show you 300 paradoxes that you can sleep to. And I'm out like a light right away. But the other day I had one that it was like this doctor explaining anxiety. So I was like, I'll throw this on, whatever. And then the doctor was explaining it. And I was like, oh, I think I have anxiety. That's weird. I also think I have OCD, Harrison. Yes, obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, I don't really think I have these things, and if I do, I don't want to know about it because they haven't affected my life negatively, or at least any of the symptoms that I think align with these disorders that I'm aware I have don't ruin my life. It's not like, oh, I have OCD and that means I have to wash my hands 100 times before I leave the bathroom or else my family dies. By the way, what did people with OCD do before soap? Did they just like rub their hands in river water or like clean their clothes with shit or whatever? That's a rude question to ask about disorders. No, and I'm not trying to be that guy that's like, no, I actually have OCD because every time I leave the house, I always think the stove's on. It's like, yeah, that's not OCD. That's just a reasonable question. I don't think anyone would want to leave the stove on or lock their keys in their car or whatever. Like, I'm aware that the signs I have that point to OCD don't, they're not like that guy. Who was the guy? Leonardo DiCaprio in that one movie. The guy that collected jars of pee and let his fingernails grow out super long. I know it's not like that. I do it in the weird, annoying millennial way that's like, I'm actually autistic because my name sounds weird when other people say it. And I don't like being hugged. It's like, yeah, no one likes being hugged. That's just because your dad never hugged you and you've put it off for 25 years and now it makes you uncomfortable. It's not because you're autistic. And if it is, does that mean you can learn, that's a learned trait is being autistic, like not wanting to be touched or hating different textures or whatever? Is that a learned thing now or are you born with it? Or is RFK right and it's in the vaccines? Good question. Anyway, my point with all this stuff is I don't want to waste a therapist's time and I don't want to go to therapy or whoever I need to go to figure out if I need to be diagnosed with anxiety and OCD. By the way, anxiety, I'm not scared of anxiety. That's the thing, too. It's like, I don't want to say I have anxiety because I'm not constantly, peeking around every corner, paranoid, thinking like, oh, it's something impending doom is happening. Oh, you're anxious. It's not that. It's just a constant fascination with the future and trying to, come up with 1,000 different situations, 1,000 different scenarios for any sort of particular situation. I do that. And if that's anxiety, great. I don't care. I don't need medicine for it because that's what gives you this show. And if I got medicated, now all of a sudden this show's just going to be me being like, you know what, guys? I actually don't think I am upset about anything this week. And that's no fun. And this is my moneymaker. So. But the OCD thing, as a kid, I used to, like, if I would be walking and then bump into a table with my right arm, like, ooh, ow, that hurt right here, right? That hurt me right here. I hit my arm on the table. No matter how bad it hurt, I had to even it out. And as a kid, and sometimes even now, I've kind of grown out of it, but sometimes even now, I at least have the hunch I've just been able to get over it. I would have to hit my left arm on the table in the exact same spot. And now, even though both my arms hurt, I can move on with my life because both arms are evenly hurt. The pain is evenly distributed on both of my arms, and nobody feels left out. I also do this with book covers. If I'm walking down the magazine aisle at, Giant or Walmart, and a magazine catches my eye and I keep on moving, I can't keep on moving. I have to turn around, go back. If it catches my eye, I have to read the entire magazine with all the tiny little headlines and Rolling Stone and Lola Young or whatever, and I have to memorize the entire cover, and I can't leave the aisle until I've closed my eyes and memorized the entire cover. So that's my symptom. Anyway, I put that into ChatGPT and said, hey, I do this. Does this sound like anything? And ChatGPT said, yeah, it sounds like you have anxiety and OCD. I said, well, that's interesting. That's exactly what I was thinking. And then I fed it 50 more things that I do, and it said, yeah, dude, you have OCD. Go to the doctor. I said, okay, I don't need to go to the doctor. I went to you, ChatGPT, MD, so I'm fine. But I'll still do that annoying thing where I'm like, guys, I actually think I have OCD. I've just never been diagnosed. I wouldn't do that, actually. I'm just kidding. But that's story number 1 for episode 8, that ChatGPT thinks that I have OCD. What else do we got? This is just a small question. I want to know, you guys know Usain Bolt, the runner, the Kenyan runner? I want to know what's so special about that guy. Hang on, I have to burp. Burp button. And I only ask this question because I don't know any other runners. Is it just because Usain Bolt's the fastest guy in the world? If that's true, I feel bad for the second place guy. Like, that's pretty damn fast, being second place to the fastest guy in the world. But I don't know who that is. The only other runner I know is, at the time, Bruce Jenner. Is Caitlyn Jenner still just as fast as Bruce was in the 70s? If not, we have a gender disparity on our hands, and science should look into that. And maybe that's why trans people shouldn't be in sports. Because even when Bruce Jenner transitioned into Caitlyn, she's now not as fast as he was 50 years ago. Interesting. Interesting how that works, huh, society? I don't want to get too political here, but I will talk about the plane crash. Hang on, I need to cough. Give me a minute here. Okay, I'm back. I want to talk about the plane crash. Of course, that plane crash in Washington, D.C. fell in the Potomac River. A helicopter ran into this plane from Wichita. I really don't have much to say about this other than I don't trust anybody, so it's hard to just sit here and go, oh yeah, it must have been just a freak accident. I mean, I hope that's the case, as God forbid that's the situation we're in, though. I don't know what to tell you. It would have been nice if it never happened at all, but I hope it's just a freak accident. Because how does an accident like that happen? And you're going to sit and tell me all these things. Well, they constantly have to be training, Harrison. It's only a numbers game until there's a mistake that occurs. Yeah, but maybe that would happen if it was like, the Wright brothers. I almost said Frank Lloyd Wright. The Wright brothers, like, coming up with flying and there was an accident. I get that, but we've been flying for so long. How is there still even accidents? I know planes are scary and no one wants to get stuck over the Atlantic Ocean, but they're much safer than cars statistically. And I understand even with this crash, they're still safer than cars. But this one was like, I mean, it sounds like the worst thing ever. You're flying from Kansas to DC. You're landing. It's a 3-hour flight or whatever. You're finally landing. And upon landing, you crash and die. Kill me right when the seatbelt light goes off in the beginning of the flight. I don't know. I'm suspicious, and I'm curious to see what happens. The way Trump is talking about it, even though he's a loudmouth asshole, makes me think he knows something that some others don't know. I wasn't entirely impressed with his response when the people asked him, like, hey, are you going to go visit the site? He goes, oh, what site? You want me to go swimming? Which I guess is technically a good answer. It's an honest question. Maybe he's just asking an honest question. But the way he's like responding about this, like, he said something about it on Truth Social. I guess let's just pull it up. This is a show. We should be showing this. Donald Trump Truth Social plane crash. What did he say? Let's get this on the TV for you guys. Oh boy. The airplane was on oh my God. Of course. Sorry guys. Can I please just open image in new tab for the love of God? The airplane was on a perfect and routine line of approach to the airport. Okay, nice, answered Trump. The helicopter was going straight at the airplane for an extended period of time. It is a clear night. The lights on the plane were blazing. Why didn't the helicopter go up or down or turn? Why didn't the control tower tell the helicopter what to do instead of asking if they saw the plane? This is a bad situation that looks like it should have been prevented. Not good. Not good, okay? Thanks, Trump. Thank you for helping out. I never know where the mouse is. This is the worst show we've ever done. Anyway, that was Trump's response. And yes, he's always mean and always an asshole. But I just have to give benefit of the doubt and just hope that he knows something we don't. Was this somebody's actual fault? Because if this was just a freak occurrence, this seems like a disrespectful response. Hey, just say, there was an accident. We're praying for everybody that happened. Say something presidential. But the fact that he didn't, even though he does that kind of stuff all the time, makes me think maybe there is something nefarious going on or blame that we can point. Maybe I think they said already that there wasn't enough people at the air traffic control tower. I mean, what's that about? I went to high school with a lot of idiots, and I'm scared to think that I don't want to take for granted just because air traffic controllers are smart that they'll always be smart, because I'm friends and know so many stupid people that need jobs. That's the numbers game. That eventually these idiots that you went to high school with are going to be replacing those old, weathered air traffic controllers. And now all of a sudden, Billy John Armstrong from geometry class, who always chewed gum and stuck it under the table, he's the next guy in line to be directing your flight out of JFK. Someone's got to do it. And that's scary. Anyway, what else do we have? I really don't have much about the plane crash. I don't have any conspiracies about it. I guess that's a conspiracy. Was the helicopter pilot a rogue pilot trying to attack somebody? Maybe he was depressed. I don't know. Only time will tell. Maybe he left a note. But yeah. Speaking of Donald Trump, though, this is a couple weeks late, but I wanted to say my 2 cents on the whole Elon Musk Nazi salute thing. Let me pull up a picture. Oh, come on. Guys, bear with me here. I really apologize for how slow this show's going. Just know that that's what has to happen. All right. Okay. Elon Musk is doing the Roman salute, as he calls it. I just wanted to say my 2 cents on this, even though this is late. I think it's funny that conservatives are all like, hey, Elon Musk is the smartest guy in the world. He invented SpaceX and Tesla. He's a genius billionaire. And then day one, the inauguration, he does this. And then all the Republicans are like, come on, he's retarded. Their first response was, well, he's autistic. I mean, he just doesn't get social cues. It's like, okay, that's fair. But is he the smartest guy in the world that's going to save you, or is he autistic and you shouldn't listen to anything he says? You don't even pay attention to Elon. He's just an idiot. Oh, okay. And if you're offended by me using that language, I'm saying that's what conservatives say. Ever heard of a character before? So we're fine. We got out of that one. I just think that's funny. Let's get rid of that, though, before I get my channel taken down. What else is everybody up to? I visited my cousins this weekend. I have Scottish family, and one of my Scottish cousins, who's about 45 years older than I am, one of my Scottish cousins came to visit America. So that's how they talk over there in Scotland. So I went up to visit her, and I really don't have much to say other than Scottish people are such good storytellers and very friendly. And I get it's family, so maybe I already have a bias, but I've met other Scottish people before who are also family. But the way they tell stories is perfect. In fact, if I could get them as a co-host on this show, that would be great because they're so good at telling a story. Even if it's a boring story, technically it's told so well. I don't know where this comes from. I have to imagine it's something about the pub culture over there. Everyone's always sitting down for a drink and you have to be able to bullshit with your neighbor. So they've just honed these stories, even stories about tying your own shoe in the dark. They've honed these stories. They know exactly the beginning, middle, and end and all the jokes along the way, and they can just tell it perfectly. I've noticed this with Scottish people. I imagine it's the same for London and Ireland. Although I'm not 100% sure. I've never met any of those types of people. But Scottish people are funny, and they treat you like they've known you for 400 years. They're very social. I think it's because Scotland is so boring and always rainy that if you see somebody, even if you don't know them, you just have to go, it's like the end of I Am Legend, like, oh my God, it's somebody, it's another person. Holy shit, can you believe this rain? Or however they talk. Oh my Lord, can you see the rain? How's the rain doing over the plain? That's all I got for you about Scottish people. I have to do a cough again, so just give me a second here while I pause. Okay, I'm back. I apologize. That was quick. I mean, for you, it's just literally a millisecond pause. But I'm recording this in the morning, which I don't often do. You can see on the clock there, even though you can hardly ever see it. It's like 2:30, 2:40. I mean, I say morning, but I mean everyone else's afternoon. But I'm unemployed, so I have a very screwed up sleeping schedule. I usually record these at like midnight, so I've had the entire day to get all the coughs out and kind of wake up. But today's Friday. The episode comes out today, Saturday. Today for you. I recorded this yesterday, and I was running out of time to record. And don't worry, I wasn't putting it off. I just wanted to make sure I had enough to talk about with you people because this is my favorite thing to do, this show. So I wanted to make sure it went well, but you're going to have to kind of put up with me getting out of bed and being phlegmy. And yes, I've been awake since before 2 o'clock. The problem is I haven't talked all day, so I've been up for a couple hours, but I've just been sitting in my room. I showered, and now I'm coughing because I haven't had to talk, and now I got to do it for an hour. So that's all. I wanted to show you guys some body cam footage. I saw a funny video the other day of this lady getting pulled over. So she gets pulled over. She's got a girl in the car. She has like a taillight out or something. But she doesn't stop. She just keeps evading the police. So she keeps driving. Eventually she stops and gets pulled over and then gets out of the car and the cop's yelling at her. Let's just watch it for a second here, shall we?
Stay in the car.
Can I help you?
Hi, can I help you?
Can I help you?
No, stay in the car.
Can you take your glasses off so I can see your eyes?
Stay in the car.
Can you see your Hang on. Can you take your glasses off so I can see your eyes? This lady's like a weird hippie. I just thought this was a funny video to see like what a hippie does. And now this is a good example if any liberals want to watch body cam footage and say like how you always hear after like a black guy gets shot by the cops. They're like, hey, if a white lady did that, if a white guy did that, that wouldn't happen. I'm like, I mean, she's not fighting anybody, but she's definitely being stupid by just getting out of the car and being like, hey, man, take off your glasses. Like, who do you think you are?
I'm sorry.
I don't care if you're black, white, green, blue, or purple. Just sit in the car. That's my advice to anybody who gets pulled over. Just sit in the car. And even if the cops are wrong and they did something illegal by pulling you over and you shouldn't have been pulled over, what you should do is sit in the car and go, "You son of a bitch. Okay, yeah, here's my license. Here's my license, officer." I mean, don't say it like that. Say it like that in your head. Just say, "Here's my license. Here's my registration." And then when he's going back in the car going, you have your hands on the wheel and going, "You son of a bitch. I'll get you. I'll have my day in court, officer." Don't get out of the car. Even if you're a hippy dippy tard.
Why are you?
Because
Okay, what do you want me to do?
So he's trying to arrest her. He's like, "Look."
No.
Wait, what am I being arrested for?
Failure to stop.
Wait, I'm stopped. So
No.
what would I do?
Stop. Stay right here.
Wait,
And the cops can arrest you for like
Right.
whatever they want,
I
by the
will.
way. And no, I don't mean whatever they want. Like they can make up rules, but like technically everything's illegal that you're about to do when you get out of the car. So unless you're being very nice and try to like suck off the cop, he's going to arrest you because you probably did 6 illegal things when you didn't stop. So yeah, unless you're not being a bitch, they're going to arrest you.
Do not put handcuffs on me.
You are going to
I
be
haven't-
handcuffed.
I
Stop.
haven't done anything to endanger
Stop.
anybody. So
You stop.
Are you hearing yourself?
Are you hearing yourself?
I just like the way
Stop
she talks to this guy. It's just
What
a
am I
funny
resisting?
breath of fresh air to hear somebody just
Please
say
don't
this
put
to the
handcuffs
cops.
on me.
But like she's not
Don't
being
worry.
aggressive. She's just being a stupid bitch.
Put anybody in
You are
danger.
going to make it worse.
What am I doing?
You're being arrested now. You're resisting.
What am I being
Stop.
arrested for? You can't take away my human rights.
Yep.
And he already told you what being arrested for, by the way. Failure to stop. But then she...
I
One
hope
on
you
one
have-
Central Seminary.
This one's scary.
I hope you have a body cam. Like,
I
Are
do.
you kidding me?
We're watching it, lady. Don't worry. But we're all watching it to laugh
Why
at
are
you.
you using this kind of force on me? What am
If
I
you don't
doing?
stop.
I have a child in the car.
Yeah,
Can
I
you-
know, and you're being
Can
dumb.
you please?
That's a good point. I have a child in the car. It's like, yeah, then why are you doing this? Now you're going to get arrested.
You're gonna. I'm acting this way when
She's
there's a
gonna be
child with me.
completely- she's gonna
There's funny parts where she just talks to the cop like, "Hey man, can we just talk on a human level?"
in California. Is
Okay, so there's the girl. I assume the child was like 3, but it's like a 7-year-old girl.
Hey,
It's her niece.
Number to call.
What's the code? Why did you not stop?
Why are you treating me like I'm a criminal?
Because you didn't stop for the sheriff's office.
Why should I stop when I haven't done something wrong?
Okay,
I'm busy
when there's
in my life.
when there's red and blue.
I think that's a funny defense. If you go to court and then you're trying to plead not guilty and they go, "Well, he pulled you over for not stop, or he went to pull you over for a broken taillight, but then you didn't stop. What's your defense, hippie?" And then she goes, I'm busy.
the sheriff's office.
Why should I stop when I haven't done something wrong?
Okay,
I'm busy
when there's
in my life.
okay, when there's
Oh, you and nobody else is busy. This cop's busy. Anyway, let's see what else.
put your foot in there.
Oh, I like how he shuts the door on her.
Hey, I'm here with.
He goes to call her husband, and then he immediately shuts the door on
Good.
her. But her leg's out in the car, so
I'm
he's
here
like,
with
"Can you move your leg, you
your
stupid
ex,
idiot?"
apparently. Put your foot in there. Put your foot in the
Can you
car.
listen, please?
Can you put the foot in the car?
Listen,
No, you.
please.
All right.
This is
so
just a
this your
funny.
ex?
It's like if you told me that this cop and this lady were brother and sister, I would believe you because the way they're interacting is just funny. So she's annoying. She's committing illegal acts by. I don't know what she did actually. I just trust the cop, I guess. But they're not fighting. She's just being annoying, and it's just funny to see this cop like, "Lady, can you put your foot in the car so I can shut the door, please?" Like that's just funny. They're not fighting. There's nothing aggressive going on. They're just annoyed at each other.
So I tried to stop her.
So that's
on
all.
the
Now he's
call
talking to the husband.
by the days
I just
ago.
thought this was a funny
he was
thing,
over
a
at-
funny life lesson for everybody. If you get pulled over, just sit there behind the wheel and go, "You son of a gun, I hate pigs." That's my advice to everybody. And maybe they'll give you maybe they'll cut you down, cut you some slack. Maybe they'll cut you some slack. That's what I'm trying to think. Not cut you down. That would be rude. But yeah, that's pretty much all that. I just thought that was funny, but it inspired me to come up with an idea for something that might already exist. Do you guys know pornography? You heard me. Did you hear about pornography? That's right. I have an idea for a pornography category that I don't know exists. And if it does exist, please forgive me. I didn't feel like Googling this and watching porn for the show. But you know how porn is all weird now? It's like, oh, POV in the middle of the woods. Oh, brother and sister hook up. Mother and daughter hook up with a boyfriend. It's pretty gross. It's pretty weird. I came up with a new category, and it's police body cam porn, where it would be obviously on Brazzers. You click on the video, and it's through the perspective of a cop's body cam, and he pulls a lady over, and then she's like, oh, is there anything I can do, officer? And then they start filming themselves, making love. I don't know if that exists or not, but if it doesn't, I think it should, and I'd like a cut. And I'm not saying I think it should because I want to sit and watch it. I mean, clearly, I don't know if this exists. If it does exist, I don't know about it, so I don't want to watch it. My point is, I think that would be a good idea for the pornography industry. Everybody with me? Now that you heard my idea, what do you think? Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you, everybody. That's all. Body cam POV porn. I saw a video, speaking of police and lawsuits and everything, I saw a video, this lady, big fat lady, tried to order a Lyft. Did you guys see this big fat lady trying to get in a car, trying to order a drive? And they don't let her in. Let's see the Fox News.
Rapper denied a lift from Lyft. She says it's due to her size. Jessica Dupnack from our Fox.
Yeah, because they can't lift you up. Let's see how big and fat this lady is.
Have you been in cars that size before? Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that, you know.
Deja Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month.
Okay, I won't deny it. Look how fat this lady is. We all see it. I don't know if the news did this on purpose. They're like, hey, black is slimming. You, even though this lady's kind of chunky herself, you go stand next to her, and then it'll prove just how fat she is. She's like you can see behind, she's putting cracks in all the linoleum and all that. She almost rips this freaking water fountain right off the wall.
Blanding tells us she was just trying to get to a Detroit Lions watch party this month when her Lyft rolled up.
As I'm walking, I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man.
She already knew.
I can fit in this car.
So now here's her video recording the Lyft driver.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
That's a funny thing for the driver to say.
They can't fit in your car?
Yeah, because they need to order the Uber XL.
No, I don't.
And he says you need to order an Uber
He
XL.
apologized, canceled the ride, and left her there. The rapper says she's pretty tough.
I get the money if it makes my food.
Dank DeMoss, as she's known at the mic, is crushed by the whole situation.
I just want them to know, like, it really hurt my feelings.
It looks like a Lyft might be hurting pretty soon.
How do you think my leather seats
I knew it was
feel?
illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and
here's
Zach
her
Runyon,
lawyer,
say
'cause she's
weight is
suing
a
Lyft
protected
now.
characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to
That's
have
true. That's
Christians
exactly
in my
what he
car,
said.
or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
The
I
lawsuit
thought that was
is
funny when I
filed.
watched it, when he's like, he knows how crazy, I mean, this is a lawyer, but he knows how crazy that sounds. He's like, not allowing a fat person to break your car is the same as not letting a black person or a Muslim in your car. But then he's aware that everyone's going to hear that and go, okay, no, it's not. If he didn't want a black person in his car, then he would have told her that, hey, also, you're black, not just fat, get out of my car. But he didn't say that. He just said, you're fat. But this guy knows that sounds crazy, so then he's like, well, in the eyes of the law, it's the same, which even kind of makes it sound like this guy's like, I'm aware how crazy this is, but technically it's illegal, so we're going to sue just because we can. Let's hear that again.
Protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
It would be no different than a driver pulling up and saying, you know, I don't want to have black people in my car, or I don't want to have Christians in my car, or Muslims in my car. It's the same. Under the law, it's the same.
Under the law, I
lawsuit
mean,
is filed.
under the law, we're aware that that's crazy, and you know, being fat's not the same as being black. maybe the Lyft driver did it for her sake, saying like, hey, I think it would benefit you if you walked to that Detroit Lions watch party.
Since she posted the encounter on social media, other full-figured folks have reached out saying the same thing happened to them.
I can fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
The driver said, she said, I can fit in this car. And the driver goes, believe me, you can't.
I can fit in this car.
Believe me, you can.
Yes, I can.
That's funny. So this is a new character I invented. I know last week I said I don't mind if you like sue the police or sue the government if they do something stupid, sue McDonald's. If this lady sues Lyft, fine. I'd feel bad if that driver doesn't have a job now. I don't want anybody out of a job. He didn't really do anything wrong. He's like, this is my car. Lyft doesn't pay for my insurance. And now I have to pick you up and you're going to crush my car. This is going to be awful. You probably smell. I'm saying that's what the driver said. I'm not saying this. I'm on this lady's side. She's on everybody's side because she's so big and wide. Right. And her songs were actually really good. I know I said that last week, and I still do mean it. I don't mind if this lady sues Lyft. If that's technically the law in Michigan, go ahead, sue them. Get your payday. That'll teach you a lesson, right? That'll teach you to slim down. No, it won't. It'll just tell you, hey, being fat pays the bills around here. I just have to get some stupid white guy to be my driver, and he'll be too scared to say no, and now I can do whatever I want. This inspired me to invent a new character. This specifically modeled after this lady. I thought it would be funny to have a character as a big fat black lady who wants to sue everybody, and her name is Litigious Jackson. Wouldn't that be funny? Litigious Jackson, and it's this big black lady who's always looking for a lawsuit. I mean, if this was the 80s, that would be made into a TV show. But because it's 2024, that's offensive, and I'll probably get this show canceled. But it inspired me to do that. I just thought that was a funny thing. But I don't know. Of course, I'm on the Lyft driver's side because he's not a taxi driver. I mean, he is. Even a taxi driver, I'd kind of be on the side of. The guy said, look, I don't care if you order a Lyft XL with a car big enough for you to fit in. I drive a Honda Civic and you're going to crush my car. And she's like, no way, that's not going to happen. I can attest that will happen. I drove across the country in a sedan with about her amount of weight in my car. And when I got back home to Pennsylvania, all my tires lost all their tread. I needed to replace all my tires. So the guy's not joking about how you're going to ruin his tires. It's true. If you put too much weight in your car and then drive, it's going to ruin the traction on your tires. Take it from me. I had to spend $7,000 replacing my rims and the wheel well and the mud flaps and the entire tire itself. But there is a law saying technically if this happens to you, you can sue. So she's suing. So fine. But lady, just know, the other people are right. And they're not saying you can't get in the car because you're black, even if that's how the law lists it, that being fat is, what do they say now? It's like a thing.
I knew that it was.
My feelings.
It looks like Lyft might be hurting pretty soon, too.
I knew it was illegal, and I knew that it was wrong.
Her attorneys, John Marco and Zach Runyon, say weight is a protected characteristic in Michigan by law.
A protected characteristic in Michigan by law. That's great. That's great. Wait. So yeah, there's a loophole for it, but whatever. Is this the kind of lady, is this the kind of person we should be dishing out free money to? Like I said, I know last week I have no problem with it, but given that, I do still think I'm not saying I'm on everybody's side who sues. I just don't have I can still sleep at night knowing that McDonald's lost a lawsuit. I can still sleep at night knowing Lyft lost a lawsuit. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, having said that, I'm still going to make fun of you for being so fat that you have to sue a $1 billion company because the driver's like, Jesus, lady, what the hell you want me to do? Take a tow truck and strap you to the back? Yeah, I fit you in a small car, maybe a small cargo plane. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. So everybody, that's Litigious Jackson, and maybe we'll find more videos of African-American ladies trying to sue companies over petty things, and we'll add them in a big compilation. We'll say, this is Litigious Jackson. And if you want to come up with a funny white lady name, sure, we'll do that too. This isn't racially motivated. It's just racial, I guess. What else? Did you guys see this? This is old news. I don't care if you saw it. I'm going to show it to you. This is NVIDIA. You guys know, like, the computer company, NVIDIA, right? Well, they teamed up with the country of Denmark, and they made a supercomputer for the country. Now, I didn't read more than just the headline, so I'm not exactly sure what this means. But here's the head of NVIDIA, and here's some Danish people. And they're plugging in a fake cable to pretend like this is where all the power supply comes from for this big computer. I wanted to show you this, though. I saw a video about it on Instagram, and I want to see if you notice what I notice. Give me a moment here to find it. I mean, I have it sent to myself, but Instagram shorts are always skipping. Let me show you this. Chats. Get that out of here. Let's listen.
Gifyon is going to be a factory of intelligence.
Did you hear that?
And this factory of intelligence...
So that's the video, them plugging it in.
Skynet is now online.
Do you notice anything about that applause? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that it's the applause I use for the show? Let's hear that again.
Skynet is now online.
Gifyon is going to be a factory of intelligence. And this factory of intelligence...
Now, I'm not saying... I know that applause sound is not from the official video from NVIDIA or the official, what's that called, conference or whatever. I know that's not what they did. I know NVIDIA didn't find a stupid YouTube sound effect for applause and say, we'll put this in our Danish video. That's just some schmuck online who made a montage of that and put it onto Instagram as a reel. I just wanted to say that I found it and I thought it was funny that I noticed that the exact same applause is used on Hotel Charlie. You know, at the beginning of the show? This thing? Right, we don't have to listen to that again. I just thought that was a funny thing I found because I was sitting, this is over Christmas, I heard that. My dad was scrolling through Instagram Reels as old retired men do. And I heard that. I heard in the background just like this faint... this, and I was doing whatever, chopping cookies or whatever, and then I turned, I went, what is that? What are you listening to? Could it be my father's listening to Hotel Charlie? And then he turns his phone, and I was like, oh, just some Skynet thing. Oh, right, Skynet. Okay. Well, they're stealing my applause. Do you guys know Graduation came out? Kanye West's Graduation came out on September 11th? That was supposed to be the sound, not the laughing sound. 9/11 isn't funny. It did. I have a poster of it in front of me. September 11th, 2007, released by Def Jam. The third studio album, Kanye West, who I think is funny. What else do we have here? Number 10. I'm sick of jokes that came out of nowhere and just gain a bunch of traction, and then every basic white person you know uses these jokes. I'm trying to even out the racial stuff here today. So, yeah, black people, this black lady sued Lyft for being too fat. But white people make me even more angry when they try to be funny and they're not. I watch a lot of Food Network shows because my parents watch a lot of Food Network shows. So I see what these people think are funny. And look, I get it. It's television. You can't swear. You can't really take any risks. It's a cooking show, for crying out loud, Harrison. Forgive them for, they like cooking. Expect them to be milquetoast. It's two foods. Unless milquetoast is its own thing. I don't know. No, but I hate when I get more annoyed at white people. Well, not more annoyed. Black people don't do this. White people are always trying to be quirky and goofy. I don't know what it is about white people. It's the same reason like that they can't dance. I think it's in that same strand of DNA that they're always trying to be goofy and quirky and random. And I like mustache. I'm going to put a mustache on my finger and I'm going to wear a blue fedora. I'm a girl. I'm going to wear suspenders made out of sequins, but they're not really suspenders. They're just a look. I hate that. I hate it so much because I like mustaches and I like suspenders and I like hats. I like the real stuff. I don't like them being made into a joke, and I don't get why it's like a white person thing to take these things and do them all ironically. I don't think there's a black person that does anything ironically. And that is a good thing, by the way. I mean that as a good thing. Thank God. At least some people know that not everything has to be this weird, wouldn't it be funny if I liked bacon and chicken? Shut up, please. I wanted to give an example or a couple examples of this. I don't know where the whole silly goose trend came from. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This is like a very white people thing, and it happened in the last 2 years. Let me show you this, for example. This is a shirt on Etsy. It's a picture of a goose in a jail cell, and it says, "Got too silly." I can't even play the laughing sound. They hate it. They hate it, and I hate it too. Silly Goose University. Let me find my cursor here. Of course, I can never find my gosh damn cursor. Let me just show you these in Google. So there's Silly Goose shirt. Let's see this. Silly Goose with a propeller hat. Today I'm a serious goose. What does this one say? Silly Goose on the loose. Today I'm a serious goose. Yes. Got too silly. Silly Goose official club member. They hate to see a silly goose winning. Certified silly goose. Silly Goose on the loose. So it's all this stuff over and over. I don't know what it is about it. I hate that. I hate that. It's annoying. It's not funny. It's ironic. And I like doing things ironically. Pretending to be offensive is funny. To pretend to think offensive things are true is funny to me, even though that's ironic. But I think that's at least takes some courage rather than trying to pretend, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I said I was a silly goose? No.
What's the world coming to?
I got another one for you that kind of came and went but stayed for a while. Let me show you this. I'm trying to find the right one here. This I hate. Sorry, I'm taking so long. My boyfriend used to use Dawn dish soap as body wash, and he said, if it's good enough to clean ducks, it's good enough to clean me. Have you guys heard this? I heard this for about 2 months straight from many different women pretending that their boyfriends did this because they saw it went viral on Reddit and then posted it onto Twitter and Facebook, and all this got reshared over and over. That's not funny. And no guy would do that. Dawn dish soap is expensive. It's more expensive than body wash. And doesn't that make you uncomfortable? Have you ever been to your grandmother's house? I have. This is what I'm trying to say. I've gone to my grandmother's house recently, and in the bathroom for hand soap, she has Dawn dish soap. Now, it's in a soap dispenser, like for hand soap. She's just filled it up with Dawn dish soap. And let me tell you, that shit doesn't come off your hands for like an hour and a half. Like, you have to sit and really wash, which I guess is a good thing. Oh, sorry, God forbid you have to actually wash your hands. No, you have to really sit and wash your hands to get all that crap off, because I don't know what it is, Dawn dish soap. It's some sort of, man-made poison, man-made oil. It's like petroleum. You can't get it off your hands. You ever try to get Vaseline off your hands? It's easier to get Vaseline off your hands than Dawn dish soap. I just can't imagine anyone actually doing that. No, I know this probably is a true story. There's probably a guy that did this and thought it was so funny, but like, if it's good enough for ducks, it's good enough for me. It's like, yeah, but you're not a duck. What are you talking about? Like, how is that your rationale? That's why I think it's just trying to be a joke. And that's why I'm saying I'm not upset by saying I don't think that's funny. Because you can't go, well, Harrison, how do you know the guy was trying to be funny? Because he said if it's good enough to clean ducks, it's good enough to clean me. Dude, you're not a duck and you're not in the BP oil spill, which I think you're aware of, which is why I think this is a joke and why I feel comfortable saying this isn't funny, this is stupid. And you go, Harrison, who are you, the joke police? This happens on TikTok. I'll post a video onto TikTok, and then, like I said, this is like from 2 months ago. I said, I don't find comedians funny, and here, I'll just say it again. A comedian like Chris D'Elia, a comedian like Andrew Santino, these guys are famous comedians. I don't think they're funny. But you can't just go, oh, well, since you don't think they're funny, now no one's supposed to think they're funny? No, that's not my point. My point is, listen to their actual jokes and you won't find them either. If there was a book of their jokes, you wouldn't laugh at the joke in the book. If I said their jokes exactly the same way they did, you wouldn't think they're funny either. You just think the guy is funny and are willing to hear anything he has to say. But his jokes aren't funny. You're more into it for his personality. I was saying that on TikTok. And then people go, oh, really? Why is this video not funny? Then if you're the funny police, go, does everything have to be the funny police with you? Does everything have to be, oh, I think this joke is stupid. Okay, sir, then come up with a better one. No, I'm just saying it's stupid. I'm just saying this joke is stupid. I'm saying Andrew Santino's stupid. I'm saying Bill Burr is stupid for saying what he did about the LA fires. Like, you shouldn't have to prove a better situation. I said this on TikTok the other day. I said, the thing that annoyed me about Bill Burr saying that the LA fires were handled so well is when he said, oh, like the people on their chairs at home could have done better sitting behind a computer. It's like, no, but I hate the argument. And that's what people got annoyed at TikTok. They go, no, Bill actually did right. I'm like, I don't care what Bill Burr said. My problem is this idea, this argument that if you critique the LA firefighters, if you critique an NFL wide receiver, that you must be better than them. Oh, really, firefighter? Then how should we fix it? I don't know. That's why I'm not a firefighter. I just know it's wrong. Oh, really, NFL quarterback? How would you have thrown it? I don't know. I'm not an NFL quarterback, but I'm saying that guy is. That Tom Brady, that Patrick Mahomes, that Buffalo Bill, Josh Allen. I'm saying he is. He should have the skill to make that throw. And I don't feel bad saying that, even though I'm sitting on my ass on the couch. So that's what I'm saying about these jokes. I think this is stupid, but I don't think that just because I'm one guy's opinion means that doesn't matter. No, this joke is bad. I'm telling you the joke is bad. And the kind of people that like this joke are the kind of people we, on this show at least, hate. If you found the show and you actually enjoy it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to sit here and say, hey, we're in the Matrix, man. No one gets us. No, we get each other. That's why we watch this show. I try to compile things in a list for you saying, doesn't this make you mad too? Aren't you sick of having to pretend that this stuff is funny, that this stuff doesn't bother you, that this stuff isn't wrong? And we all get along watching Hotel Charlie. And if there was a guy making a show exactly like this, rest assured, I would be watching his show. In fact, there are a couple like this, and I do watch those shows. I don't even know what that rant was all about. I'm just furious when I post a well, I'm not furious. I shouldn't say that. It makes it sound like I can't handle critique on TikTok. But the problem with critiques on TikTok is when I post a video and the critique is just missing the point of the video. Like the other day, I posted that video saying, hey, we should steal a blind guy's wallet and switch all the money out with fake Braille and then see if he gets into trouble. I was expecting that one to get some heat. You know what didn't happen? That one didn't get any heat. The comments, only a few. There was only a few comments on it, but the people that commented were joking back saying, yeah, that's a good idea. We should, we should go right around the blind guy. Don't even give it to a blind guy. Braille punch your own money and put that in a random cash register and just wait. See, that's funny. And I mean, whatever. It's not the funniest thing in the world. Neither was my idea. But I'm just saying that's the kind of comment like, okay, you get the joke and you're playing along with it. Fine, great. But then I'll make a video like, let me see what I did yesterday. I can't even remember. I just know the comments were annoying. Oh, I said tiny homes are just trailer parks. And then people were commenting saying, let me find it. I said, tiny homes are just trailer parks. And then someone said, well, my desire for a tiny home comes from a place of being single, 28, broken, disabled. I'm giving up on relationships and just wanted something small for me and my pet dog. Yeah, dude, I don't care. I'm not talking about you. I'm saying I hate the tiny home trend on YouTube, and it's weird to me that people are getting famous off of what is essentially a trailer park. If you saw a guy in a trailer park building a trailer, no one would sit there and go, oh, good job, Bill. You'd go, okay, there's a bum building a trailer that he can afford. Great. So all the and that's what I said in the video. I posted the TikTok. Look, this is me just sounding extremely defensive. I don't have a problem with people that watch the TikToks. It's annoying to me when people don't get what I'm talking about and then comment at me like I'm in the wrong. I'm not wrong. I've thought about these, points for years. So I say, I think it's a stupid YouTube trend to build tiny homes because it's essentially a trailer park and no one's impressed by a trailer park. So why did we just throw a new name on it and make it a tiny home? And now you can get famous off of living in a tiny home or living #van life. Whereas 20 years ago, that was considered like something bums would do. And then someone comments and goes, yeah, but what if they can't afford a house? I go, yeah, of course I'm aware that there's people that need a tiny home or a trailer out of necessity because they can't afford it. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people that are making money off of building a tiny home. I'm talking about the people on YouTube. Another guy commented and said, dude, once you get over the idea that other opinions matter, then you'll really live a free life. First of all, yeah, keep telling yourself that, buddy. But obviously, I'm talking about the people that are trying to get YouTube clout by building tiny homes. You don't think they care about other people's opinion? Their whole thing is based on other people's opinion. You're talking about a guy that went off the radar, went to live off the land in Alaska and built a cabin that, all he needs is a toilet and a living room. I'm well aware those people exist, and I have no problem with that. What I'm annoyed at is the people that are trying to make living off the grid into a YouTube channel. You see people like this, oh, I'm off the grid. Here's a vlog of a day in my life and exactly where I live and where my Wi-Fi is linked up. Like, well, you're not living off the grid. You're doing that as a gimmick to try to make money. That's my problem. So don't tell me that the people that are choosing to film their lives and putting onto YouTube don't care about other people's opinions. The whole point is caring about other people's opinions, including this show. Of course I care about other people's opinions. That's why I look at the TikTok comments, and I hate like Joe Rogan going like, dude, you can't read the comments. Can't read the comments. Famous comedians, dude, I never read the reviews of my special. You should, because if you suck, that's a good way to know about it. You should at least be aware of what your audience thinks of you. So I'm aware, I read all the comments and half of them are wrong, but I'm not upset about that, even though I can rant about it. I'm not upset because I know those people don't watch the show. The people that comment onto YouTube shorts or TikToks aren't the ones watching the show. They don't get it. But I will say, yeah, it is annoying. But it's not because, oh, I wish that I would have had them as an audience member. I'm never ever getting, those people that comment that stuff are never going to move on from TikTok and find the YouTube channel and then subscribe to this. So I'm not upset because I know I'm not losing out on a subscriber, but it's just a waste of my time to have someone watch that entire video where I say, let's steal a blind guy's money and have him say, oh, well, you shouldn't do that actually. Oh, yeah, it's a joke. Did you not get the joke part of the, where I said I'm making fun of a blind guy? No one commented that. I'm just using that as an example. It's just annoying when I say something on the show and then it just goes right over someone's head and they take 1% of it and go, oh, actually, if you think all people buy trailer parks because they're proud of it and try to get famous, you're wrong. Go, that's not what I said. And I'm sure those people exist, but that doesn't take away from what I'm saying, which is that it's annoying for people to try to get famous off of something that's so simple to do. And it does happen, and I'm not getting in the way of that. I'm just saying. I'm not proud of those people. So that's all I tried to say. Meanwhile, we have people getting famous off of Dawn dish soap, and I don't feel bad making fun of how bad these jokes are, because I understand that everyone has their own individual taste, but I'm starting to believe as I get older that that's not true. I'm starting to think that humor is objective. And they say that art's subjective. I go, I don't think so. I think there's a definitive thing, even though you might not be able to explain it, I'm starting to think that cool is a thing. Nerds are not cool. Even if they think it's cool to play Dungeons and Dragons, it's not. I have no problem. The thing that gets all twisted is now someone hears that and goes, oh, you hate nerds? No, I have no problem with nerds. We need nerds. We need more air traffic controllers. We need more people building, sorry, that computer was there that entire episode. We need more people that are smart engineers that can build bridges. We need nerds. But let's not pretend that nerds are cool just because they're passionate about playing games in their basement. People are being tricked into thinking being passionate about something makes you cool. No, cool is leather jacket and a cigarette and skipping school. That's cool. Nerds are their own thing. That's nerdy. Never the two shall meet. And that's okay. So that's what I think about jokes. I think, yes, everyone has their own specific taste, but I think there's a definitive way to prove what comedians are funny and what are not. And even if I say, at the end of the day, let's say I make that list and I say Chris D'Elia and Andrew Santino are not funny. If people still find those guys funny and buy tickets to their show, I have no problem with that. That's like seeing the Blue Man Group. You're not going there to laugh. That's like seeing Tape Face. You're just going to watch it. That's like seeing a magic show. There's magicians that exist that sell tickets because they're flashy and they catch people's attention. That doesn't make magicians funny. There's a way to make money on a stage without being funny. I don't think Chris D'Elia is funny, and I think that is objectively true. I think Andrew Santino, it's objectively true that he's not funny. I hate him as a person also. We can get into that later. But I guess I'll just say it here. If you're wondering why I hate Andrew Santino, you know how he's made his whole gimmick? Like the things you see over and over as like funniest Andrew Santino moments are him doing Asian accents and going, oh, I'm Bobby Mom. Or going, doom, 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 doom. If you don't know who Andrew Santino is, by the way, just ignore this for a second. But everyone who does know him, you know what I'm talking about. He does like racial jokes and he has a show with Bobby Lee, so he gets away with it because he can make Asian jokes because he's a comedian and he uses that as an example. Oh, I'm a comedian. You know, these are just jokes. I don't care if they're jokes or not. They make me laugh. I don't care if you're funny or if you're actually racist. If you do a Chinese voice and I laugh, I'm not going to sit there and go, wait, does Andrew Santino actually hate Chinese people? I don't care. That's none of my business. It made me laugh. Okay, so that's part one of why I hate Andrew Santino. You just need to know that part for a second. He makes racial jokes. Okay, so part two, do you know that lady that white lady who sang that song? Oh, I want to be ninja, right? If you don't know it, again, just ignore this part. But if you do know it, you know what I'm talking about. She had that song, I Want to Be Ninja, said racial jokes about Asian people. Well, that's part one and part two of why I hate him. Part three, the finisher, the clinker, is Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee took that lady who sang the I Want to Be Ninja song and had her on their show, and then continued to berate this woman as for why she would make racist jokes. Oh, well, don't you think that joke about wanting to be a ninja is a little racially insensitive because you're white? Meanwhile, Andrew Santino's entire biggest YouTube moments are him making racist jokes. So he's sitting there and saying, you really shouldn't make those jokes. As a comedian, telling a woman whether or not she can make jokes. But then he'll sit there and go, well, I'm a comedian. I feel like I can make these jokes because I'm a comedian and everyone knows I'm joking. But then he sees a lady making racist jokes and then going, oh, you really shouldn't say that. You really shouldn't make those jokes. It's like, who are you, Andrew Santino? Meanwhile, your whole thing has been racial jokes. That's your best of moments on YouTube, is you being offensive to Bobby Lee, making Asian voices and making a joke out of his mom and his dad being Asian or Korean. And then he says, and then the lady, rightfully so, says, well, what about you? You make those jokes. And he goes, yeah, but I'm a comedian. It's like, okay. So this all is about how you think you're better than other people because you get paid to make jokes. There's no difference between you and a guy on the street that makes you laugh. You're a clown. Now you are successful at it. That's the difference. I get it. Don't just sit there and go, oh, well, actually he makes money, so clearly there's a difference. Yeah. I'm aware. You've been able to hone your jokes into a way to make money off it. I get there's a difference, but you shouldn't see being a comedian as like this next level to life that now grants you the access to racial jokes and offensive humor and say, oh, well, if you're not a comedian, you can't make racial jokes. It's like, okay, dude, go on a construction site and then listen to all the non-comedians make racial jokes about each other. Are you going to go yell at them? That's why I hate Andrew Santino, because he has this idea that being a comic is the greatest thing in the world and it grants you access to being offensive. No, everyone's allowed to be offensive. Don't call your principal the N-word and think it's funny because it's offensive. You're going to get fired. But everyone has the right to be offensive. You don't have to be a freaking comedian to be able to get away with it. And that's why I hate Andrew Santino. And that's why I posted a TikTok about it, and that's why I got mad, because then people commented back and were like, well, you're not funny. I go, yeah, dude, I'm not trying. On the show, generally, I try to be funny. But when I'm talking about why I think Andrew Santino and Chris D'Elia aren't funny, and I say, I think you're being tricked, and if you actually listen to their jokes in an audiobook format, you wouldn't actually laugh. They go, oh, really? Well, you're not funny. Okay, I have to be funny to make my point now? I'm just trying to explain to you why I think comedy is stupid. And dying, by the way. Anyway, it's been an hour. Sorry about that rant, but I hope you take my passion as, something. Clearly, that meant something to me, and I got to talk about it to you on the show. Other than that, we got about nothing. I think I went over all the stuff I wanted to talk about. Actually, I missed one. I'll talk about it next week. I think that song Messy by Lola King is stupid. Or Lola Young, whatever her name is. Because I'm too messy and I'm too very clean. That song's stupid. Anyway, thanks for joining us on Hotel Charlie. If you want to see more of me, go to the Patreon. I have a clip up there. Colin and I talk about our road trip back from Utah, part 2 of coming back from Utah. I think I'm going to start doing karaoke and putting it on the Patreon. It's something I know I can do once a week. And if you want to pay $1 a month, you can see me sing Messy by Lola Young. Other than that, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you made it this far. Go follow the TikTok, the Instagram, Jump on 3 Productions. That's all. I'll see you guys all next Saturday. Bye, guys. Today's Friday. You know what that means? It means that the new Fortnite's coming out with Tilted Towers. I'm going to go play that all day. I'm going to have a couple old fashions, and I'm going to play Fortnite. And I have to edit this video, but whatever.